I'm with How To Taxes, and I'm here to help you fill out your Form 1040 when you're head of household filing status. To be considered head of household filing status, you must be unmarried, paid over half the cost to keep up a home, and have a qualifying child or dependent. In this example, you have a 13-year-old son. At the top of the form, put your name, address, and Social Security number. Under the Filing Status section, check the box that you're head of household filing status. Make sure to answer the question regarding digital assets. Under the Dependent section, put your son's first and last name, his Social Security number, his relationship to you, and check the box that he qualifies for the child tax credit. On line 1A, put your wages. You can find this information in box 1 of your Form W-2. In our example, it is $69,100. Carry that down to line 1Z and down to line 9 as you have no other income. In our example, you are a middle school teacher and you had educator expenses of $300. Put this on Schedule 1, Part 2 on line 11. Carry this down to line 26 of Schedule 1 and enter it on line 10 of your Form 1040. On line 11, subtract line 10 from 9 to arrive at $68,800. On line 12, you'll put the larger of your standard or itemized deductions. In our example, the standard deduction is higher, and you can find the amount in the box to the left, which is $20,800 as you are head of household. Carry this down to line 14 as you do not have a qualified business income deduction. Subtract line 14 from 11 to arrive at $48,000 for taxable income on line 15. Next, we will calculate your tax using the tax tables that begin on page 65 of the Form 1040 instructions. Since your taxable income is at least $48,000 but less than $48,050, your tax will be $5,449. Put your tax on line 16 and carry it down to line 18. On line 19, we will put your child tax credit, which we will calculate on Schedule 8812. On line 1, enter your adjusted gross income from line 11 of your Form 1040, which is $68,800. Carry that down to line 3 as you don't have any amounts on line 2. On line 4, put 1 as you have one qualifying child under the age of 17. Multiply that by 2,000 to arrive at 2,000 on line 5. Lines 6 and 7 will be left blank as you do not have any other dependents. On line 8, add lines 5 and 7 together to arrive at 2,000. On line 9, enter the amount from the table to the left. Since you are not married filing jointly, it will be $200,000. On line 10, subtract line 9 from line 3, which will be less than 0, so we will enter 0. Thus, line 11 will be 0 as well. On line 12, we will subtract line 11 from line 8, which will be $2,000. On line 13, we will enter the amount from Credit Limit Worksheet A. You can find Credit Limit Worksheet A on page 4 of the Form 8812 instructions. On line 1, enter the amount from line 18 of your Form 1040, which is $5,449. As we don't have any amounts from Schedule 3, line 2 will be left blank. Line 3, we will subtract line 2 from line 1 to arrive at $5,449. Line 4 will be left blank as we are not required to complete Credit Limit Worksheet B. On line 5, subtract line 4 from 3 to arrive at $5,449. Enter this on Schedule 8812, line 13. On line 14 of Schedule 8812, we will enter the smaller of line 12 or 13, which is $2,000, and we will enter it on your Form 1040, line 19. Line 20 will be left blank as we do not have an amount from Schedule 3, line 8. On line 21, add lines 19 and 20 together to arrive at $2,000. On line 22, subtract line 21 from line 18 to arrive at $3,449. Carry this down to line 24 as you do not have any other taxes. On line 25A, put your withholding that you can find in box 2 of your Form W-2, which in our example is $4,000. Carry this down to line 25D and down to line 33, as this is your only payment. In our example, you have an overpayment of $551. You will put this on line 34, and if you want it refunded to you, put it on line 35A. If you want your refund directly deposited into your bank account, complete lines 35B through D. If you don't want it directly deposited, cross off lines 35B and D, and the IRS will send you a check. Thank you for watching. Make sure to sign, date, and put your occupation at the bottom of the form. I am from How To Taxes. Subscribe for future tax videos.